is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful, delicious, smoky, beefy, cheesy, amazing, scratch-made half-pound smoked cheeseburger on my new pellet grill. Hi, that's right, folks. We're making the bread, we're making the onions, we're making the beef, smoking and searing, all on my new grill. Coming up. This is some brisket. Pat it dry. And what I got here is 2 chunks of brisket. We've got some lean brisket right here, and we've got some of the point meat as well. So together we should have a really nice fat ratio because I want to have a nice thick juicy burger at the end of the day. But of course you could use whatever cuts you can find. Chuck works really well, short rib works well, but we're just grinding this up and making burgers. So you can pretty much use whatever you want as long as you have a good fat ratio. And as the title of this video probably suggests, I got a new pellet grill, and we're gonna take a look at that in a minute here. And today we're gonna test it out. And to do that, I want to make a smoky L&L style smoked cheeseburger because that seems like a really good way to test all the capabilities of this new grill. So we're gonna form these patties, we're gonna smoke them low and slow to get some good flavor on them, bring them up to temp. We're gonna make some buns to test the baking capabilities of this smoker. Probably cook some bacon because I like a good bacon cheeseburger. Saute some onions, and then we're gonna sear off those burgers and really see what this cooker can do. But first, we need to get this meat cubed up into some smaller pieces so it gets chilled down a lot quicker and fits in the meat grinder a bit easier, which is necessary because it's now summertime and it's really hot out here. So get ready for a couple more months of sweaty Brad. We don't want to grind warm meat because it'll just make the process a lot stickier and more difficult for the grinder, and we won't have a very good product at the end of the day. And just like that, all cubed up. So now into the freezer this goes for the next probably 30-40 minutes. Now that our meat is nice and cold, through the grinder we go. I'm going through the coarse die today, and I'm gonna go through twice. That's because this is all brisket. If I had a slightly more tender cut, I'd probably go through the small die once, but because there's a lot of connective tissue in brisket, doing 2 passes through the grinder will give us a really good texture, consistency, and make sure everything's nice and tender. So, through the grinder we go. Beautiful, nice grind on there. But now I'm gonna try and move pretty quick because I don't want this to heat up too much, and send it through one more time. It always helps to be real gentle with this, kind of dropping in little chunks at a time. That way it doesn't get all bunched up and you have to bust out the plunger, basically crumbling it down the chute. And there we go. Very good grind on that, good consistency. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and give this a little bit of a mix, nothing too aggressive. Just make sure the fat is evenly distributed and this gets a little bit more tacky so it doesn't crumble apart while we're trying to cook it. But we don't wanna mix it too much like a sausage or something like that, just a little one like that. And then it's time to portion these out. I'm gonna go for a nice half-pound big juicy burger today because I haven't had an L&L burger in a long time. And that's the Leroy and Lewis burger, by the way. If you haven't had it, probably the most famous burger in barbecue. And it's very good, but gonna keep making balls until we've got Meatball Mountain. Now I'm gonna bust out the old burger press. We're just gonna go ahead and press these out with some patty paper going down. Big giant meatball on top of that. Patty paper yet again. And we form. This is the same press I used to use at Leroy and Lewis to make the Leroy and Lewis burger. Simple, but effective. There we have it. Beautiful looking burger. And there we go, all pattied up. Gonna pop these in the fridge to get nice and cold. Let that meat kind of get used to its new form factor until we're ready to use them. This video is brought to you by Helix Sleep. Their 4th of July sale is running now for a limited time, and it's a great time to upgrade your mattress to their Luxe or Elite mattresses and get 2 free pillows or take 25% off site-wide. And if you're unfamiliar with Helix, they make premium quality mattresses customized to fit your needs, conveniently shipped right to your door. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and ultra-premium Elite collection. The Helix Plus mattress, which is designed for big and tall people, and the Helix Kid mattress is designed for growing bodies, which is endorsed by child sleep medical experts. And how Helix works is you head to their website and you take their sleep quiz, enter your basic information like height, weight, how you like to sleep, whether you're a back sleeper, side sleeper, things like that. And Helix will match you with the perfect mattress for your sleeping preferences because they know that everybody sleeps a little bit differently. I took the quiz with Brooke and we were matched with the Helix Sleep Dusk Luxe mattress, and we also opted for the Glaciotex cooling cover, which has been a game changer in this Texas heat. And I've had my Helix mattress for several years at this point, and it's honestly the best mattress I've ever had. I absolutely love it. 0 complaints. I've not once even thought thought about getting a different mattress. It's super comfortable, I sleep really well, and it's shown zero signs of sagging or any wear and tear. We even have 2 down at the Chud shop in the upstairs apartment, and we've had a lot of people staying up there. Every single one of them have come up to me to tell me how comfortable the beds are. Highly recommend it. But probably the best part about Helix is how convenient they make getting a new mattress. And that's because it's shipped right to your door in a very reasonably sized box. The mattress is shrink wrapped in some plastic. Simply pop the vac seal, watch it reinflate, and you're good to go. There's also a 100-night sleep trial to make sure you love your mattress, plus a 10-year warranty with financing options and payment plans available. So if you're in the market for the best mattress of your life, head to helixsleep.com. Using my link, you can save 30% off any Luxe or Elite mattress, plus 2 free pillows, or take 25% off site-wide. I'll have a link down below taking you to helixsleep.com to save you some money on your new mattress. Thank you, Helix Sleep. Next up, let's get our buns started. Starting by going into our stand mixer with some water, our yeast, our sugar, and get that mixed up real quick. Then we're going in with our eggs. And once that's all mixed up, we're gonna go in with our bread flour, our salt, and some dough conditioner for those nice, soft, fluffy buns. And let that mix for about 2 minutes. And once that's all come together a little bit, we're gonna go in with our softened butter. Boop. And now we're gonna let this knead for about 6 to 8 minutes. Beautiful. Coming away from the bowl nice and clean, not too sticky. Pretty happy about that. Beautiful, nice and supple. So now into a grease bowl we go to double in size for the next hour or so. Now that our dough has doubled in size, out it comes. Boop, the big boy. Punch all the air out. And now I'm gonna portion this into some 95-gram little dough balls. And now that these are all weighed out, we're gonna go ahead and make them into a nice smooth topped ball, tucking all the seams to the underside, just like that, and give it the old table roll to make it nice and taut. And then drop it right on the ground. Beautiful. And once all rolled up onto a Silpat line baking sheet, these go. I'm gonna cover these in plastic and let them proof for another probably 30 minutes. So all those buns proof up, let's go ahead and take a look at my new pellet grill. This is the Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill, and I gotta say, I am liking this thing a lot so far. I've had it for about a week at this point, and mostly just did the burnout process, and it is looking really good. Love the top rack. I also love that it's expanded metal. Looks like a real smoker. And down here, we've got the other grates and the grill grates in here for doing some grilling. I got them flipped upside down because these are the ones that are meant for doing grill marks, and I'm more about a sear than getting grill marks. Hopper over here holds a lot of pellets, and they gave me this giant orange, I think it's a competition cart. But really, I'm just liking the construction of this thing so far. People think that I'm not a fan of pellet grills, and when you're comparing them to Chud boxes or offsets or anything else, they're definitely not my favorite, but I have had one on my patio for the last 3 years. This is the 3rd model I've had, because they come in really handy. You know, as much as I like to do these deep dive barbecue cooks, I too have to eat during the week, and I'm not always making bread and smoking briskets, and the pellet grill really does come in handy. I basically use it instead of my indoor oven, you know, whether that's baking a potato, making some weeknight chicken thighs or something, and I've used the pellet grill to cook bacon pretty much every time for the last 3 years. The only thing I really don't cook in there is brisket, which I'm probably gonna have to try on this one, and that's because I have a giant offset right here. But if I didn't, and that was the only pit I had, I'd be cooking everything on that. And truth be told, I've had my eye on this smoker for a long time now, mostly because of the build quality. The other few pellet cookers I've had either fell apart or something broke, or they just got really dirty and grimy a little too quickly, and mostly they looked and felt flimsy. You know, they're probably Chinese made with really thin materials, where this one is made in America with pretty thick steel. And as someone that builds smokers myself, I can appreciate that, because hopefully this thing will last forever and be my final pellet cooker. And the reason I've been wanting this cooker for a long time as opposed to any other pellet grill on the market is because for years now I've been watching Chef Tom from ATBBQ.com, as well as Smoke and Joe's Pit Barbecue, both putting out really good looking food on this model. I think some of the best briskets I've seen come off a pellet grill came off of this guy right here. And when my Woodwind Pro broke a couple months back, I knew it was time for me to finally pull the trigger on one of these bad boys. And conveniently, Chef Tom from ATBBQ.com here on YouTube shot me a message saying, hey man, I think it'd be really cool if you had a Yoder YS640S pellet grill. And I responded with, I also think, Chef Tom from ATBBQ.com, that it would be really cool if I had a Yoder YS640S pellet grill. So thank you, Chef Tom from ATBBQ.com for this pellet grill. Like I said, I haven't done any true cooks on it yet, but that's why we're doing the burger today, because we're gonna bake some buns, see how it bakes, smoke and sear. And that's the main reason I wanted this grill, is because it's multifunctional. As I mentioned, it's got the grill grates on the bottom where you can remove the plate above the hopper and basically use it kind of like a wood-fired gas grill situation. Because I do a lot of grilling and sometimes I don't feel like getting the charcoal out, and every gas grill I've ever had has broken within 6 months. And this thing gets hot too, so I'm pretty excited to test it out. But now I think it's time to fire up the pit, which unfortunately is pretty anticlimactic if you're cooking on a pellet grill. there's a snake in my boot. And now that these have puffed up nicely, our greased plastic wrap comes off, and these are looking pretty good. But to be honest with you, that pit is taking a little bit longer than I expected to get up to temp, so hopefully these didn't get too big. But I'm gonna hit these with an egg wash, just a beaten egg mixed with a little bit of water. This is gonna help the color. These with some sesame seeds as well. Beautiful. So on to the Yoder we go with these buns. I'm gonna go up top today. Again, rocking 350 degrees, and we're gonna see how these cook up. Should probably only take about 20 minutes or so. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Taking a first peek, and ooh, this guy by the smokestack here, definitely getting a lot browner than the other ones, so I'm gonna rotate this. And this pit has been on for about an hour, and it did not get up to 350. It's hovering right around the 340 mark when I threw these on. And then I go inside for 10 minutes, and then it shot up to 380. So definitely trying to learn this pit. Probably starting with delicate bread is not the best thing, but I think it's gonna work out just fine. Oh geez, we just shot up to 420. I'm gonna just open this up, let that cool down a little bit, because that's a little bit toasty. It looks pretty good though. Although I have heard that these things tend to swing around a little bit, which is fine for a brisket or something, but maybe not ideal for baking. Alrighty, I'm calling it on these. They're looking pretty good. Took a little bit longer to cook than usual, and they didn't brown up nearly as quickly. Usually with most buns and breads, I just take them up to about 200 degrees. So let's see what these are at. 210, a little hotter than usual, but I'm okay with it. But now, like always, I'm gonna go ahead and hit these with some melted butter. The water in the butter helps soften them up even more, and of course, we're gonna get some wonderful buttery flavor. But all in all, these look pretty good. Definitely gonna keep working on it. Maybe try the bottom rack, but if anyone out there has any more experience baking on a pellet grill, I'm all ears. But off these come to rest. But while I'm here and this thing is hot, I'm gonna bust out the app that I've been using. I don't even think you can see that. But it's a Fireboard app. I'm gonna bump the temps up to probably 420. Because I wanna make a bacon burger today. It's been a minute. And it's a good way to test out a new grill. You know, I like to do the bacon test on offsets and cookers whenever I'm trying to see where the hot spots are. Ooh, that was the first one to sizzle. Hot spot in the back. Definitely getting some more sizzle on the bottom, which is to be expected. Closer to that diffusion plate. This is probably gonna be real hot over here. Oh yeah. It's been, I don't know, 10 minutes. Ooh, not surprisingly, these bottom ones are done first. But other than that, it looks like it's a pretty even cooker. It smells good. All right, as expected. Bottom finished cooking first, followed by top left, where the coolest side is over here. But honestly, the difference between that and that is really not that big. So we got a lot of cooking space on here. That looks really good. Let's take a look at the first two cooks on this pellet grill, and these buns look really good. Pretty happy with how they're looking. Definitely a little dark on this side. They're a little less consistent from side to side. The color's a little bit blonder than usual, but it does have kind of a smoky hue to it. But all in all, like, that's a good looking burger bun right there. So pretty happy about that. And of course, bacon, always looking good. I went crispy today because I want to try something new. Usually when it comes to bacon on a burger, I'm not a big fan, and that's mostly because the bacon tends to slide around or come out in one big bite. But I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, why don't I ever just chop it up and put like bacon bits on the bottom bun? Might make for a better experience, add a little more texture to the burger. So we're gonna try it out. Alrighty, I think it's finally time to get these burger patties seasoned up and smoked off. And yeah, those are looking pretty good. Good amount of fat in there. And I'm gonna keep the rub real simple with some good old-fashioned Chuds BBQ SPG. And I'm gonna go on pretty heavily. But of course, you can season your burger with whatever you like. At L&L, they just use salt and pepper, but they season it like a brisket. So that's why I'm going on pretty heavily with this stuff. Trying not to forget the sides. Shape them up a little bit. And there we go, those are looking pretty much perfect to me. Let's throw them on the pit. This pit's rocking around 315 degrees right now. It's on its way down to about 275, and it really shouldn't take long. So up top these guys go, and we're gonna bring them up to an internal temp of about 120, maybe 125. All right, y'all, it's been about 25, 30 minutes on these burgers, and they have come up to an internal temp of about 125. So I'm gonna pull them off. Looking pretty good. And to be honest with you guys, I've been using the app to control the temperature of this thing all day. And when I put the burgers on, I dropped it down to like 250 or something to kind of bring that temp down quicker. But after about 5-10 minutes, it really didn't do anything. So then I went over and I moved the knob and it was set at 350 the whole time. So either the app doesn't work or I'm doing something wrong. Probably the latter, because I didn't watch any videos or read the manual at all for any of this stuff, which is probably not a good idea because I'm not a very good intuitive cook with a pellet grill. But all that means is that our burger cooked a little quicker than I would have liked, meaning it's probably not going to have as much smoke flavor. But again, we're just trying to do a smoky reverse sear here, so I think it'll work out just fine. But let's get that thing ready for some grilling. Alrighty, let's see if I can do this using nothing but tongs. By the way, if you don't have donkey tongs yet, highly recommend it. They're huge. I'm going to start by moving this grill grate. It's in 3 pieces. And then right here in the middle, there's that little plate that comes out like this. Oh, that's heavier than I was expecting. And that's where our fire is burning. It's pretty small right now because I only have it set to 250 or something. But I'm gonna get that kicked up to probably 500 degrees, put these grill grates back in, let them heat up, and then it'll be time to start grilling. And while this grill comes up to temp and these grates get nice and hot, I'm gonna go ahead and make some sauteed onions to go on top of this burger. I was gonna put some beef fat down, but these grates are still covered in bacon grease, so I think these are gonna be real tasty. Also gonna hit them with a pinch of salt. Oh yeah, those are browning up real quick. Gotta say that flame down there is intense. I've never seen anything like that on a pellet grill before. And just like that, after about 10 minutes or so, off these come. Again, I'm going for more of a grilled onion here than like a truly caramelized onion. I even shut the lid for a good couple of minutes, so we should have some nice wood smoke flavor on there. Good looking buns. One thing I have noticed though is the bottom got a little bit crusty. Not burned, but definitely don't need to toast that side. Good looking buns. Pretty happy with that. Gonna go down with some sprayable beef fat here. Get these toasted off real quick. Looking pretty good. Ow, that was hot. Good looking toast though. And finally, at long last, it's finally time to sear off these big, beautiful smoky burgers. Nice, hot and fast. Put a little beef tallow down right in the hot spot. Oh boy, that's really hot. Just trying to get a really nice hard sear on these. Just a couple minutes per side is all we need. Remember, it's already at a medium rare internal. But of course, the longer it stays on here, the higher up in temp it'll come, if you're in the mood for more of a medium well situation. Looks like an L&L burger to me. And off the pit, these come looking nice and juicy, beautiful dark sear on there. I'm gonna hit these with 2 pieces of cheese because I'm feeling frisky. And I did let these sit on the other side of the grill for a little bit to come up a little bit more in temp. And they're right around the 135, 140 mark. But now it's time to let this cheese melt a little bit, let these cool down, and get our burgers made. To assemble, bun down, grab our burger sauce. This is just the barbecue sauce that I made in the volcano shank video, cut with 50% mayonnaise. Perfect for a smoked burger. Both sides. Then on the bottom bun, I'm gonna go down with a big sprinkling of our bacon bits. They're so crunchy. It's gonna add some nice texture and of course, bacon flavor. And I'm not sure, but I think you could pile on a lot more bacon in this form factor than just regular strips. And now we grab our beautiful, nice, melty, smoked burger. That's why I like to add the cheese after the fact instead of on the grill, because 1, it makes much less of a mess on your grill, but 2, I just love that corner look, you know? Nice and gooey, not too melted. Real simple burger today, folks. Top of this, cheese, going down with some of our grilled onions. Very sticky. And lastly, some homemade pickles. I've made these in many videos. And then lid goes on. And there it is, folks. Fully pellet grill made, smoked L&L cheeseburger. I mean, this one's looking particularly magnificent. It's so tall. Perfectly sized bun, too. Pretty happy about that. Little sauce poking, nice cheese melted. But first, let's slice on in. Oh, that is a good looking cheeseburger. Love that loose texture you get from the bigger die on the meat grinder. Kind of iconic for the L&L burger. Good doneness on that. Definitely more medium, which is what I was after, because sometimes medium rare ground beef just isn't what I'm in the mood for. Yes, please. I forgot about the bacon. That is so good. Gotta get a bowl to hide the rest of this from these damn flies. That is a fantastic burger right there. You got that pepper heavy bark that pairs really well with the sweetness from the onions, the gooiness of the cheese. The crispy bacon is really a welcome addition because the burger is really soft, the bun is really soft. So having a little crunch at the bottom is really nice. And of course it tastes like bacon, so that's always good. That is so good. Freshly baked bun. Come on, folks. It actually has a good smokiness to it too, you know? And not just like that pellet grill low and slow smoke flavor, but it picked up a lot of flavor when it was being grilled from that super aggressive wood fire burning really hot. You know, there's some wood smoke on the onions, the bun, and the burger, and the bacon. But nothing is overpowering, which is nice. That is so good. There's something to be said about the smoked burger, you know? There's really nothing fancy going on here, no special ingredients. Just a really simple, well-balanced burger. I mean, there's really nothing offensive about this thing. That's really good. You know, I've been pretty critical of pellet cookers in the past, but they do some things incredibly well, and this whole recipe is one of them. I'm missing zero flavor from this burger that I get from cooking it any other way, and sometimes it does feel a little weird to fire up this giant offset to make a cheeseburger, and although the Yoder over there is still pretty big for that purpose, it seems a little more appropriate. But with all that being said, with this very last onion-free bite of smoked half-pound bacon cheeseburger, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make an absolutely fantastic smoky bacon cheeseburger all on a pellet grill. I highly recommend giving this one a try no matter what kind of grill or cooker you've got, because it's just a really good, simple burger. I should also mention that Yoder is not sponsoring this video, the channel, or anything like that. They did give me that grill free of charge, but they didn't ask me to do this. They don't get to review it or anything like that. Oh, I was using B&B Post Oak pellets. Got them from HEB, but if there's a better pellet out there, let me know in the comments down below. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!